Namah Shri Yatirajaya Vivekananda Suraye Satchit Sukha Swarupaya Swamine Tapaharini. I convey my heartfelt pranams to Guru Maharaj Shri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharda Devi and Swami Vivekananda. Dear devotees, I deem it a great honor for being invited to Australia by revered Swami Sridharananda Maharaj. He wanted that I should have first-hand experience of the work that is going on here for many decades. Revered Maharaj, first he invited me about 4 years back, but I couldn't make it. Then the COVID set in, and as you know, the whole world came to a standstill. Then again, about 2 months back, again he called, no, now is the time, you should come here. So I had to oblige. Revered Maharaj, when he was constructing big temple for Guru Maharaj at Lucknow, quite often he used to come to Calcutta and stay in Advaita Ashram. And he had a lot of affection and love for me. And I used to try to help him, serve him in whatever way possible. And I found in him one great lesson, that no sacrifice is too great for Sri Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. And his sense of commitment, his sense of dedication, and that perfection that is worth learning, worth seeking. I spent about 36 years of my life in Advaita Ashram, Calcutta. And then afterwards I became manager there for a long time, looking after the publication department. Then I became the president of Advaita Ashram for about 8 years. And that time I had to divide my time between Mayavati Advaita Ashram and Kolkata Advaita Ashram. Our main office is at Mayavati Himalayas in Uttarakhand, and the publication department is in Calcutta. Then since last 12 years I am posted at headquarters as Assistant General Secretary. So as Maharaj told you, that I have got several duties. I look after our foreign work. So because of that, I have traveled about more than 25 countries just to see how the work is going on. Anyway, I don't know how many people have visited Advaita Ashram Mayavati. Only one person. Very good, very good. This Mayavati had a very special place in the heart of Swami Vivekananda. It has some features which you won't find in any other centers. In India's 5,000 years of spiritual life, this is the first monastery which was started by Westerners in 1899. Before that, no Westerners had started monastery in India. Then secondly, Adi Shankaracharya about whom you have read. He has composed so many stotras, and he has given us the beautiful thought of Advaita, which is a rich contribution to the entire world. So Adi Shankaracharya, he started 4 centers in 4 corners of India, and they are popularly known as Shankaracharya's mutts. So they are known after him. And there ritualistic worship takes place. Ma Sharda is worshipped there. But the beauty of Swami Vivekananda is that he started Advaita Ashrama, but he didn't name it after his guru or after himself. And he was categorical that here Advaita and Advaita alone should be preached and nothing else. Nothing will accept this monastery except truth. Even now also, even faint smell of worldliness or Dvaita will not dare to reach those Himalayan heights. And this monastery is situated at an altitude of 6,900 feet. And when you enter the monastery, standing there, you will see 400 kilometer snow range. Gangotri, Jamnotri, Kedarnath, Badrinath, Trishul, Nanda Devi, Nandakot, Panchuli, Nepal ranges. It is simply breathtaking. Simply breathtaking. And in 40 kilometers vicinity, no human being you will find. Completely cut off from the world. Many devotees, they come there, we allow them to come there from mid-March to mid-June, then again from mid-September to mid-November. Say for about 5.5 months we allow guests to come there. Because in winter, temperature dips down to -5 degrees, -6 degrees, and it becomes difficult for guests to stay there because we don't have any heating arrangement there. And then in rainy season, when the monsoons set in, then the leeches come there. It looks as if the leeches of the whole world come to Mayavati. So pre-medical blood donation camp you can open if anybody is interested. And exactly for 3 months they will stay there. Then they hibernate. So that's why during rainy season also landslides will be there, then leeches will be there. You don't know where you will get struck. So we discourage devotees to come that time. But we have sadhus, they have to be there because they have to work and run the monastery there. Then many devotees come there. They will ask, where is the temple? Because temple, all the boundary walls have been eliminated there. They have been removed. And the whole Himalayas is a temple. Devatatma Himalaya. That Kalidasa says, Devatatma Himalaya. Himalaya ensouled in divinity. This is the land of renunciation, the land of rishis, the land of gods, Devabhumi and Tyagabhumi. So people have a lot of faith in the Himalayas. While speaking in one of his lectures in London, Swami Vivekananda says, the maximum good that has been done to the society is by those people who renounced everything and stayed in the caves of the Himalayas. Nobody ever saw them, nobody ever heard them, and they prayed day after day. And their place comes immediately after incarnations. So see, the place that has been given by Swami Vivekananda to those persons who lived in those Himalayas. Shankaracharya, he also went, Bhagavan Buddha, he also went, renounced everything. So many people. And they had a lot of revelations which have been recorded in the Upanishads, in the Vedas, what has been preserved in the forest books. And it is these principles which were broadcast by Swami Vivekananda in different parts of the world. So the highest principles of Vedanta were formulated in these mountains, Himalayan mountains, and were later on improved elsewhere. So this is a great contribution that has been done. A monastery can be started anywhere. Just 1 or 2 monks staying in a cave, or in Australia or anywhere, any part of the world. Just even a sannyasi, a monk staying alone, he can also start one monastery anywhere. But to start a publication department on the dizzy heights of the Himalayas is daunting. Because you have to compose there, you have to edit them, then you have to print them. For that one machine is necessary, and technology goes on changing, and with that we also have to move. And then after printing you have to bind them, and then again you have to send to the plains. Because our good neighbors, they are not going to read it. Our good neighbors are panthers, leopards, barking deers, then this porcupine. And when it snows on the higher reaches of the Himalayas, wolves also come down. But mutual love, mutual cooperation, mutual sympathy, this is how we pull on together. So we have been there for about 125 years, but these neighbors, they have not touched any of us. The reason is because during night time they come out, and that time we sleep. And daytime we move about, and then they sleep. So there is no clash between us. Swami Vivekananda, when he went to America, this immediately we find so many disciples come and they help him in various ways. So Miss MacLeod was there, Mrs. Hale and her family, legates, they also came, Miss MacLeod. Then J.J. Goodwin, he also came. When Swami Vivekananda was delivering lectures, everybody was fascinated. They thought, no, the words that fall from his lips, they should not get lost. So they put an advertisement in the newspaper that we need one stenographer who can record Swami Vivekananda's lectures. So in response to that, J.J. Goodwin, he belonged to London, he had come to America, then he came there. And when he saw that everybody is working free for Swami Vivekananda, he thought, no, how I can accept salary from Swami Vivekananda or his admirers. He told Swamiji, no, I will give my life for you, but you give me 2 meals a day, I don't need any money. So up to last, he was with Swami Vivekananda. Then Nivedita also came, then Sarah Bull, Mrs. Bagley and many others, they came. So in Indian spiritual tradition, disciples, they have given everything for the sake of Guru to get spiritual good in their life. That is emancipation or liberation or mukti. But Nivedita, Sister Christine, and Captain and Mrs. Xavier, they gave their everything they gave. Sister Nivedita, she had no money, and Sister Christine, she also had no money. But Captain and Mrs. Xavier, he had money, and he gave that too also along with his services. So he has made rich contribution in the annals of Ramakrishna mission. So Swami Vivekananda, when he after giving those lectures in Chicago, historic lectures, then afterwards he started giving lectures in New York. He hired one hall and then there he used to give lectures. He started giving lectures on Karma Yoga in the morning for juniors, for beginners, and in the evening he used for higher classes. And they were compiled and then published in book form. Then he went on giving lectures on Jnana Yoga, where you find highest philosophy of Advaita Vedanta. And then he went to London also, there also he gave. So from December 1895 to say mid-1896, he gave these lectures in London and New York. And these lectures were compiled and brought out in Jnana Yoga. And then this Raj Yoga lectures, Patanjali's Yoga Sutra, first he began to translate it, then he found it too difficult. Then he started giving dictation to Ellen Waldo. So then Swami Vivekananda, he revised that book and was brought out as Raj Yoga lectures. So when Swami Vivekananda went for the second time to London in 1896, this Captain and Mrs. Xavier, they also came to hear, and they were highly moved by Swami Vivekananda's lectures and his philosophy. They were ardent Christians, but they had no faith in the doctrines and dogmas that was preached by this church. So they had that hunger, spiritual hunger in their heart, which they got fulfilled when they came in the company of Swami Vivekananda. So one day while listening to Swami Vivekananda's lectures, they came out of the hall. Then MacLeod, she had gone all the way from New York to London to hear Swami Vivekananda. And this Captain Xavier is asking Miss MacLeod, do you know this person, Swami Vivekananda? She told, yes, I know him very well. Then, does he mean what he says? She told, yes, very much. Then in that case, we must follow him. So this was the determination they had. We must follow him and realize God with him. Then Captain Xavier, he turned to his wife, Mrs. Xavier, Charlotte Elizabeth Xavier, and told her, you see, I want to become a disciple of Swami Vivekananda. Will you allow me? She told, yes, I have no objection. Then in turn, Mrs. Xavier also inquired this from her husband, I also want to follow him and become his disciple. Do you give your permission? And in affectionate humor, he told, I don't know. You are free to do whatever you like. So Swami Vivekananda, while giving lectures for a few months there, he wanted to have a break. Captain and Mrs. Xavier, they had decided to go for 6 weeks to Europe, Holland, Germany, and New Zealand, and this one is Switzerland. Then they requested Swami Vivekananda, you also come with us, it will do you good, you need some break. And he agreed. So he accompanied them. So Swami Vivekananda, while he was in Switzerland, then seeing those Alps, mountains, he remembered Himalayas. Because he had visited Himalayas many times. And when he saw that snow, he wanted to walk over it and go visit one glacier also. Then he thought, had there been one monastery in the Himalayas, how wonderful it will be. Just to give shape to his dreams, Captain and Mrs. Xavier, they sold their property and handed over the entire money to Swami Vivekananda. Swami Vivekananda told, no, this is not the time, you keep it with you. When I need, I will tell you. Then in December 1896, when Swami Vivekananda was returning to India, Captain and Mrs. Xavier, they also followed him. And then from London they came to Italy. There for a few days they went around the city, and then they started their journey by ship to Colombo. And here J.J. Goodwin, he also met them at Italy. He also accompanied them. And they reached Colombo. Swami Vivekananda had to give a series of lectures in different parts of Colombo and other places in Sri Lanka. Then he crossed to Tamil Nadu and then came to Madras. And there also he gave many lectures, very inspiring lectures. Captain and Mrs. Xavier and Goodwin, they were with him. Then Swami Vivekananda came to Calcutta in January 1897. Then he went afterwards to Darjeeling, then many other places, Almora, then Lahore, then Kashmir, and then he came back to Almora. When he was there, he got one bad news. Swami Vivekananda, when he was in America, he wrote several letters to his disciples, Ala Singha and others, these young boys of Madras, that you start one magazine and I will contribute articles and some money also I will give you. So they started first Brahmavadin magazine. And then after 9 months, again one more magazine was started called Prabuddha Bharata, because Swami Vivekananda wanted that Brahmavadin, it should cater to the needs of intellectuals, and Prabuddha Bharata, it will be for general public. So that this another magazine was started. And one young boy, highly qualified intellectual, he was Mr. B.R. Rajam Iyer. So he too became editor. So under various names he used to contribute articles. Then after 2 years, the magazine was started in 1896, and after 2 years he passed away suddenly, prematurely. That time Swami Vivekananda was in Almora when he got this news. He got upset. Just 2 years back I started this magazine, and now the editor has died, so the magazine may not be in circulation once again. So then Captain and Mrs. Xavier, they were by his side. He told them, you are eager to work for India. Now here is an opportunity that you take up the responsibility of running this magazine, and I will give you one editor, Swami Swarupananda. This young boy, Swami Swarupananda, his pre-monastic name was Ajay Hari Bandyopadhyay. He was assistant of one magazine called Dawn, nationalistic magazine. And he had that literary grace. So Swami Vivekananda told him to go to Mayavati, to Almora, to take up the editorship of this magazine. When this Ajay Hari Bandyopadhyay came to Belur Math to join the monastery, Swami Vivekananda told Nivedita, today I have got an acquisition. Through this boy I will be able to work very hard. I will accomplish many things. And it proved right. So Captain and Mrs. Xavier, they came to the plains, they purchased a printing machine. Then on ponies, they took it on the Himalayan heights at Almora. Swamiji wanted that this Indian monastery, he should start at Almora. But it was the district headquarters. Many British people, they used to stay there, and they started coming to see Captain Xavier and Mrs. Xavier for a cup of tea. He didn't like it. He told Swamiji wanted that monastery should be in a very secluded place. But here so many people come and then they disturb. So Captain and Mrs. Xavier and Swami Swarupananda, they went in search of a very lonely place where people will find it difficult to reach. So then they got some information that at Mayavati, situated at an altitude of 6,900 feet, there one tea garden is there, tea estate is there, which belonged to Mr. MacGregor, an Irish gentleman. He wants to sell it and go back to Ireland. So they went and they finalized the deal. 7,000 rupees was paid to him for some 25 acres of land. And then afterwards, another 40 acres was purchased. And then in addition to that, because around that panchayat is there is no one, about 400 acres of land that is also looked after by us. So the entire population of the whole panchayat is only 8 members. They are our own monastic members. Nobody else is there. So Swami Vivekananda told them that I need the whole hill. So they were forced to purchase the entire hill. Even now also, very few people come that side. And from the nearest railway station, that is at Katgodam, near Nainital, it takes 4 days to reach there on foot in those days. Now, of course, now roads have come, so within 5 hours from the nearest railway station, people can come there. So Swami Vivekananda was in America. He had written to them several times that I need a monastery in the Himalayas where the this altitude should be within, say, 6,500 to 7,000. So this first criteria was fulfilled. And the north should be open. It should be covered by mountains on 3 sides, and the north should be completely open so that you can have that view of the entire Himalayas. So that was second. And then plenty of water should be there. Otherwise, without water, you cannot stay anywhere. So we have got 1 or 2 perennial sources. From there we get water throughout the year. So all those conditions were met. So this monastery was started. So it was because of this Captain and Mrs. Xavier's dedication and their devotion to Guru that this came into existence. So Captain Xavier, he turned this tea estate into a monastery. So he had to make roads, then clean the jungle, and then Mr. Xavier, so he spent like this, he was the manager of the whole area. And their mother, she used to look after kitchen and other things. And Swami Swarupananda, he used to look after this magazine. So this magazine is the only longest serving magazine which is in circulation. Since last 127 years it is in circulation. And through the pages of this magazine, the message of Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda and Vedanta have gone into the hearts of millions of people. So it has made rich contribution to Ramakrishna Vivekananda literature. So through this, people have come to know. This is one thing. And then so many original photos of Sri Ramakrishna, Vivekananda, Ma Sharda Devi and other direct disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, then Swami Vivekananda, were preserved all these years. Now they have become public property. Now everywhere you will get their photos. But all these more than 100 years, we preserve them there. And then when Swami Swarupananda took charge, he started compiling Swami Vivekananda's complete works. So first 4 volumes of complete works were published, and Sister Nivedita wrote a beautiful introduction to these 4 volumes. Then as and when new material came, then we went on adding and bringing out new volumes. So as on date, 9 volumes have come out, and now the whole thing is being revised and enlarged, so it will be in 10 volumes. We hope within 6 months or so, all the 10 volumes will come out. So when Swami Swarupananda was there, he started compiling. Then when he was quite young, after in 1906 he passed away. He had gone to Nainital to conduct one relief. Something had happened there, he wanted to help poor people. On the way he got drenched, he got pneumonia, and there itself he passed away. So he was cremated at Bhavali near Nainital. Then a great crisis came. Captain and Mrs. Xavier, Captain passed away before that one. Then that time, what to do? Then Swami Sharadanandaji, who was the General Secretary that time, he was in Varanasi. He went there to Mayavati just to find out what to do. Then he called Swami Virjananda, who was earlier there but was doing austerities at Kankal Haridwar. So he called him and told him, no, you have to take charge and continue the work which was started by Swami Vivekananda here. He agreed, and then he was instrumental in publishing these complete works of Vivekananda. And when he had almost completed the work on the 5th volume of complete works, he decided to write one authentic and detailed life of Swami Vivekananda. Because that time many disciples of Eastern and Western of Swami Vivekananda, they were living. So with their help, he collected a lot of material, and one Frank Alexander was there. So he was requested to write it. He gave them all these materials, and then he wrote. And Mrs. Xavier gave 5,000 rupees to him in those days, so that the copyright remains with Advaita Ashrama. So it was published in 4 volumes. Then afterwards it was revised and it was condensed into 2 volumes. Then afterwards it was made in 1 volume. And now again new material has come and it has been again revised. Now it is in 2 volumes. So it is most authentic biography of Swami Vivekananda. So wherever, in whatever language you find any book on Swami Vivekananda, take it for granted that it is based on the original life which was brought out by Eastern and Western disciples and published from Advaita Ashrama. In between, when Captain Xavier came there, and in 1900 he passed away, he had some urinary tract infection. Mrs. Xavier and some other monks, they advised him to go to the plains and show to doctor. He told, no, Swami Vivekananda has given me a chance to stay in this monastery. Even if I die, I am not going out. Ultimately, he succumbed there. He will wear like this light gerwa, dhoti, and used to meditate, and he was completely out of the world. And Mother Xavier, she was regarded as mother. Really, she was more than a mother. She used to look after food, clothes, and the publication of this one, Ramkrish Vivekananda literature and the magazine. So she was highly regarded by all the monks there. So they called him mother. And villagers, they also used to come for medical help. She used to give them some medicines. So they used to call her Devi, a goddess. And Swami Vivekananda, when he met her for the first time, he called her mother. Swami Vivekananda had 3 Western mothers. One is Mrs. Hale, Mrs. Ellen Hale, and then second was Sarabul, who helped Swami Vivekananda in various ways. And then this Mother Savior. When Swami Vivekananda, after his return from the West, he purchased one plot of land on the bank of the Ganges, where he could make one majestic temple in memory of his Guru, Sri Ramakrishna. He had no money. So he got one plot of land, but there was no money. There came Miss Henrietta Mueller. She told Swamiji, don't worry, I'll pay the entire amount. So 39,000 rupees she paid in those days. And it was purchased. In 1898, this plot of land was purchased sometime in April, and by December it was consecrated. And then Swami Vivekananda wanted to have one small temple there, one dining hall, come kitchen, and then monks' quarters. Then the Sarabul, she gave money for him to construct this temple and for leveling the ground also, because it was uneven. Then she also gave money for the construction of Nivedita Girls' School, because Swami Vivekananda told Nivedita to do something for the welfare of the girls. Then she started the school and money was given by Sarabul. So she was the second mother, and third mother was Mrs. Xavier. So when Mr. Xavier passed away, after 2 years of his coming to Mayavati, then Swami Vivekananda was traveling somewhere in Europe that time. He got something in his mind that something has gone wrong in Mayavati. Then he came to Bombay, and from Bombay he came to Calcutta and heard that Captain Xavier has passed away. Then he immediately sent one telegram to Mayavati telling Swami Swarupananda and Mother Savior that I am coming here. It was harsh winter that time, December 1899. Then Swami Vivekananda, he went by train up to Kathgodam, and then from there he went to Mayavati, and it took him 4 days. It was many places he got snow and then rains also. It was very difficult for him to reach Mayavati. And then he spent about 14 days there. He wrote during his stay there 2 articles which he got published in the magazine, Prabhupada Bharata. Then one day when he was inspecting all the rooms, he found Sri Ramakrishna's photo was kept in one room and it was being worshipped. He became furious. He told, again here this old man has come. I wanted that here Advaita and Advaita alone will be practiced. How come this old man has come? So his disciples, they got the hint, and then his photo was removed. His another disciple was there, Swami Vimalananda. He was not happy. We have left our home and hearth for the sake of Sri Ramakrishna, and Swami Vivekananda, he doesn't want that his photo should be here. So he wrote a letter to Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi. Holy Mother wrote, your Guru was Sri Ramakrishna, he was an Advaitin. You being his disciples, you all are Advaitin. So like this, the issue was solved, it was resolved, and this historic judgment was given by Holy Mother Sri Sharda Devi. Afterwards, this problem didn't arise. So, I was telling you about this Prabhupada Bharata magazine. So, on the DJ heights of the Himalayas, to run such magazine was quite difficult, and to get articles from scholarly people, that was also difficult. So our monks who used to stay in Mayavati or in Calcutta Advaita Ashram, its branch, they started translating many of our treatises like Vairagi Shatkam It was translated by Swami Madhavanandaji Maharaj. Then he got it serialized in Prabhupada. Then long after it was published in a book form. Like that, Uddhava Gita it is a part of Bhagavatam. So under the title, this last message of Sri Krishna, it was serialized in Prabhupada. That again was brought out much later in a book form. Then Swami Vimuktananda, he was a great man. He was in Advaita Ashram, then afterwards he became the in charge of a Ramakrishna Mission Sharda Peeth, a big educational complex. And MacLeod had great love for this Swami. So he started very big college here, residential college. It is an autonomous college with an integrated scheme of the PhD level. Only 550 students are there, and individual attention is given to each and every student. And its all India ranking is very high. And then Polytechnic also has come up there, now university has come up, then teachers training college has come up, so many institutions are there. So the Swami Vimuktananda, when he was in Advaita Ashram, he also started translating Aparakshana Bhuti. Then Drigdrisha Viveka, Swami Nikhilananda he translated. Then Bhagavad Gita, Swami Swarupananda, he used to bring out in Prabhupada Bharata. Swami Vivekananda told him to teach this Bhagavad Gita to Nivedita. So then he started translating it and bringing out in Prabhupada Bharata. Later on it was brought out in book form. Even now also it is in circulation. One of the best Gitas for the beginners with word for word meaning and some running translation is there. Then Swami Vireshwarananda, who later became the 12th president of the Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission, he was there for about 14 years in Advaita Ashram. First as manager, then afterwards as president. During his time, so many books came up. He also started translating Brahma Sutras according to Shankara. Then afterwards, he took up Brahma Sutras according to Ramanuja. So they were also brought out in book form. And then Sister Nivedita, she contributed 70 articles to this Prabhupada Bharata. Then Mrs. Xavier, she contributed 21 articles to Prabhupada Bharata. And she used to edit, also help the editor there. So everybody has made wonderful contribution. And then great Swamis, they came there like Swami Gambhirananda. He brought out many books, Prasthanatraya, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita. And then Swami Vivekananda's biography also he brought out in Bengali. Then many other books he translated. Then he brought out the history of the Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission, a valuable contribution. So many Swamis, they contributed a lot to the publication work. Swami Vivekananda wanted that Advaita Ashrama Mayavati should become a meeting point for both Westerners and Indians. Westerners will come there and then they will get training there. They will stay there, work also. One Charles Johnston, later he was called as Brahmachari Amritananda. He spent about 10 years there. Swami Vivekananda sent him from New York, you go and work in Mayavati. So he came there. Then Frank Alexander, he also did a lot. And afterwards also many Westerners have come. They stayed there and worked for this monastery. And then many young boys who joined this monastery, they were also trained and later on they were sent to America and other places to preach Vedanta. The first one to go to America was Swami Prakashananda, Swami Vivekananda's disciple. He was sent to America to help Swami Trigunatitananda in 1903. So then afterwards Ashokananda went, Swami Prabhupada went. then Swami Chetananda, then many other, Swami Satprakashananda, and many other people, they went to America and did significant work there. They made a name for them. And in their association came great people, great intellectuals, like that. This was there. Christopher Isherwood was there. Then Aldous Huxley and many other people, they came in association with them. They also worked very hard for the propagation of Ramakrishna Vivekananda literature. So this is the contribution of Advaita Ashram, Mayavati. So a lot of work has been done, and since I spent a lot of time there, I thought I should share many of my ideas with many of you. And then when I was in Advaita Ashram, Calcutta, so I had many experiences. Once I got one packet from the post office. When I opened, I found 2 books were there. One, it was in Arabic, so I couldn't make anything out of it. So then inside I found one letter was there. It was written by a Muslim professor of Iran University. He writes that Swamiji, just about 2 years back, I had been to India. I visited many places. And when I was returning to Iran, then I came to Bombay railway station. I purchased 2 of your books. One is Life of Ramakrishna by Roma Rola, and another Mind and Its Control. So I was fascinated by reading these 2 books. I thought it will be criminal on my part if I don't translate this Life of Ramakrishna by Roma Rola and share it with my Muslim brothers in Iran. So without taking permission from you, I have translated it and I am sending these 2 books to you. Please don't mind. So see how Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna, they get their own people and get their books published. Then another time I got another packet from Karachi. So we don't have good relation with Pakistan, but somehow I got this packet of 5 books of Karma Yoga in Urdu. There also one gentleman, he wrote, you see, I got one copy of Karma Yoga in English, so I translated into Urdu so that our Muslim brothers in Pakistan, they also understand about Swami Vivekananda. So now I don't have permission, so unless you give me this one permission, I am not able to sell it or send it to our libraries. So I heartily gave him permission. Then another gentleman, the Vankata Raj Zilla. So we had published one book, Vivekananda, His Call to the Nation, for our young students. So it gives a brief life of Swami Vivekananda and his important quotations. So more than 10 million copies have been sold out so far. So one young boy, he wrote to me from America that Swamiji, you are highly subsidizing this book. I also want to subsidize it. So how many copies you are able to sell in a year? I told you about 15,000 copies we sell in a year. No, you sell 120,000 copies. Whatever money is needed, I will give you. So I agreed and he sent the money. And when we informed all our centers through email to all our centers that this book has been further subsidized just for 1 rupee, immediately many centers, they purchased 20,000, 50,000 copies, and in 1 or 2, 3 orders, the whole stock was sold out. Then I again wrote to that gentleman, you see, you told us that we publish it and just we got 2, 3 orders and the whole stock has been exhausted. He told, no problem, I will again send money. So again he sent money, we again published, and that stock was also sold out. So like this, more than 10 million copies have been sold out so far. Vivekananda is called to the nation. Swami Vivekananda, in 1896, when he was in America, he told, I have just begun my work. I have just begun my work. And after 6 years, that is 1902, he passed away. So his work didn't stop. His work didn't stop. At one time he wrote to another person that I have raised just 1 or 2 waves. Tidal waves are yet to come. And then in another letter, he wrote to Swami Ramakrishnanandaji. Swami Vivekananda writes, I don't want name and fame. I want to be a voice without form. So Swami Vivekananda, towards this end, he wrote, I may feel it better to cast off this body like a worn out garment, but I will not stop working. So even now also he is working and inspiring people. So now everywhere this Swami Vivekananda's birthday, in June 21st, is celebrated as International Yoga Day. So the yoga which was taken by Swami Vivekananda to America and other places, now it has become so popular. One Anne Lewis, an investigative journalist in America, many years back, she wrote that the spandex, this clad yoginis, they are using it every day now for yoga and doing spiritual sadhana. 16 million people are using that one. And it has become 6 billion industry. So many people are using mats, yoga mats, then spandex for doing this yoga exercises and other things. So this religion has become very popular there. Then in another place, that one Miller, Lisa Miller, another journalist, she wrote one article in Newsweek, which is very popular in America, that we all have become Hindus. In America, all have become Hindus. So people of America got up from sleep and they find all of them have become Hindus. So there she mentions that Orthodox Christians, they find that God is somewhere above the clouds. He is a person. He is somewhere sitting, this one. And they do not believe that God can be reached through various paths. You can find him through Islam by reading Quran, or through Hinduism, or from other religions. They didn't believe. Now many people, they admit that God can be reached through other ways also. So this is the influence that our books have exerted in other places. Then another thing, that people did not believe in reincarnation. They didn't believe. That's why they used to bury their bodies there. Now many people, they say about 30% people in the West, they bury the body. In this one, they cremate in the Hindu fashion. They believe it. So this is another change that has taken place there. And as in Hinduism we say, God is permeating in and through everything. He can be seen everywhere. So now other religions also have started believing in that one. Yes, God is not a person. He is permeating in and through everywhere. So a lot of changes have taken place, are taking place everywhere. This is after the advent of Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna. So I will not take much of your time. It was nice to see all of you here, and Swami Sridharananda Maharaj, who, as I told you, has got a lot of love for me, and I came, so I wanted to share some of my sentiments with you. I invite all of you to visit Belur Math, the source of Ramakrishna, the heart of Ramakrishna movement. So from there only It is going everywhere. Swami Vivekananda, after returning from the West, he was standing in Belumut. He says, the tidal waves of spirituality that have started to rise, will deluge the whole world. So, the whole world is being deluged by the ideas of Swami Vivekananda. So, all of you have to become active workers in the mission of Swami Vivekananda and Sri Ramakrishna. Thank you very much. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat.